do believe we're up and running. Everything shows green. Are we alive? Yes, we are. People are here. Good evening, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Same faces are back for more punishment today. Day off. What do you mean day off? Did we have a day off? I don't want to tell you what I did. I don't want to tell you. I had a fun day. We have a new manager coming. He's starting in October. He's supposed to start October 1st, but he's got his current employer has asked him to do some extra work in the first week of October, and I guess he's got an obligation there. So he's not coming here till October 6th. So this gives me a chance to sort of get ready for him. And Aoyama-san and I, he's been helping with the computer stuff here. We're trying to sort of sort out and get ready what to do with our IT structure. The new manager is coming in, so he's going to want to, work with us on working out a new IT plan for the place. And it's not easy. We've got some old legacy software we have to decide what to do with. How much to do in-house, how much to go on the net. So I spent most of yesterday cleaning up some of the legacy stuff to get it ready for this new member joining us. So. Teiko-san, hi. We're up and live, so up and running. No problem. So yesterday was a day digging in the attic of legacy software, looking at the stuff, trying to decide how much of it's going to work. Quite a peaceful day. IT plans. It was worse last week, I haven't talked about this on the chat here, but I got a sort of semi-emergency mail from my host, my provider. It's Pair Networks in Pittsburgh. Really, really, really good people. I've been there since like 1996, since they just started. I think it was about their 50th customer or something. I'm still there now, and they're a giant place. But I got an automatic email. They're bringing in the flag. They're closing up. I got an automatic email for this system and letting me know that I was 350 gigabytes over my limit for this month, and I was going to get a pretty stupendous bill at the end of the month. Sort of a friendly warning. And I looked around to try and find out what it is, and I made a mistake. When Jed and I set up the Kickstarter campaign a few weeks ago, he gave me a large image for one of the prints that's in the campaign, the 4-panel image that's in the campaign. And it wouldn't fit on the Kickstarter system, so he asked me to host it. I just dumped it up on my website without thinking about it in a blind directory. Relinked it from the Kickstarter page. Opened up the campaign, no problem. Reddit grabbed that one and ran with it. And 10 days later, there I have, 400 gigabytes And it turned out that Jet had given me an 8 megabyte image, and I hadn't looked at it. I had just dumped it up on the website without checking it. So a bajillion Redditors have been downloading an 8 megabyte image for weeks from my web host. So they're very nice about it. They when I chatted with them, I took it down, of course, right away, of course, and they're cool about it. They're not going to charge me the $800, whatever that their computer said I was liable for. It's my own fault. I should have checked the size before I put it up. Isn't the light fun, eh? It's a bit of too much of an angle, When I get a bit of time later, sometime, I'm going to raise that light just a little bit. It needs to be more. Can I get a bit of an angle? It's coming just too much at a raking angle. But yeah, it's cool. I get it in, and I've got a stereoscope. This is not a flat microscope. It's a stereoscope. Meant for doing things like checking integrated circuits and things like that. You're in tomorrow, Teiko-san? 2 more days, right? Thursday and Friday. By the way, what happened to Audrey-san? Did she go home early?
Oh yeah. She didn't tell you?
I
You know what? She's traveling to Malaysia tonight.
Oh, so?
So I asked her if she can leave.
Oh, so? I had no idea. No. Of course.
I let her
go. No problem. I just didn't know. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
She was here, and all of a sudden she sort of wasn't here, and I wondered if she was doing something upstairs or what.
No. She
okay.
left at 4.
No problem. Quiet day anyway. No problem at all.
So I told her.
Okay. Going to Malaysia? What? This is, I know.
Just for fun. Yeah, it's not my job thing.
So who's got the time to do that? Wow.
Flying tonight and arriving tomorrow morning, she said.
Really? Just for a couple of days or for?
Yeah, 6 days, she said.
Really?
She's going to travel around to see temples.
I think it's the rainy season down there now, isn't it?
I don't know, I've never been to Malaysia, so we can...
Hear some news next week, okay? You guys on your way out? You say goodnight to the fans here?
Bye-bye.
I don't know if they can see. So, where are we here? It's Shiba-san and Teiko-san are heading off. I don't know if you can see. They're pretty far away here. So. I know the Reddit thing, it was my own fault. I know we have lots of media hosting. I have an S3 account. We do all kinds of things for that sort of thing. It was my own mistake to put it on, mix it in with a normal website. So don't feel bad about sharing it. It's totally my mistake. And my provider gave me the grace. So they haven't charged me for it. So there's no bad backstory there. Shiba-san、今日の電車、中央線は結構、今日の中央線が結構、そっか。青梅の方から？
いや、今回は中央線の武蔵小金井かなんかで人身事故で、この間は西立川で人身事故だったから立て続け。
そっか。
なのでもう朝から電車に無駄なくて。
西立川、あれは珍しいでしょ。Okay, see you next week then. Thank you. Okay, good night.
沼部先生のところのメールだけ書いておいたので、後で送信だけ。
Okay.
奥さんと多分石川さんにいつも両方送ってた。
忘れちゃうかもしれないんですが、はい、ちょっと待って。はい。
今パソコンの画面に
はい。
メールのあれだけ出てます。
OK、じゃあ今夜出します。OK。
よろしくお願いします。お疲れ様です。
Okay, good night, girls. See you tomorrow. Please leave the party window open, please, ne?
Yeah, it's open.
Okay, thank you.
We didn't put any, turn on the air conditioner.
No, okay, thank you. They're gone. No, Aoyama-san is still up here. He's doing sizing tonight. The guy who's practicing printing is Kawai-san. He's printing upstairs. He won't be here. He was here Tuesdays. He's off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He's doing his own eBay work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And he'll be back here Saturday, Sunday, Monday to do shop work during the day and practicing upstairs on his own time at night. But and I asked him if he's got some interesting stuff on eBay this week to let me know next week, so maybe I can get him to show some of it or whatever. Then upstairs tonight, Aoyama-san's doing sizing, and he and I have got a date, I think Friday night we'll be doing sizing up there, so it's possible, don't jump on this yet, but it's possible that the Friday stream, this is Wednesday, it's possible that the Friday stream in this time spot will be upstairs in the sizing area. Not quite sure yet how it's going to work out. I know too, there's something I'm supposed to show tonight. I was supposed to put it on Facebook and on the Kickstarter page today. Josh, maybe I should do it before I forget. It's over here, excuse me a second. Nothing to do with this owl work, but it was something I'm supposed to show. Batch of prints were finished this morning. Kubota-san. Actually, if I switch to the big camera, I think the sound should work now. Let's try this. Don't panic if my voice is gone, because I think I can turn it on. Just a sec. Lagging? What's going on? Oh, dropped frames. Hang on a sec then. Oh, yeah. What's going on here? Correct Wi-Fi. I am indeed dropping frames. 2%. No, it might be me here at this end. I think I know what's happening. Aoyama-san upstairs is streaming something. Excuse me, just one sec. I gotta go upstairs and tell him to turn it off. Back in a moment. Aoyama-san, 今なんていうのネット使ってストリーミングない。今ちょっとトラブルですから。はい。はい。今放送中ですから、先にしないでください。今そのまま、ちょっといつもよりちょっと遅い。All right, he's turned off his music up there. He's not streaming out, he's stuff coming in. Anyway, what was I trying to say? Okay. I think I can get audio if I switch to the other camera. Give me some feedback, but I think it'll be okay. Excuse me a second here. Did anyone else hear him leave before you saw it?
Okay, testing. Has this got audio? I think it's got audio because I'm seeing a bar running up and down. Anyway, what I'm supposed to show you tonight is this. It's recognizable. It's one of our Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. And it's got fun paper here. We normally make the Heroes prints this way. I'm not getting good light here. That's our normal way of making Ukiyo-e Heroes prints. They're a little bit large on top. They'll be trimmed later. Jed's sign spaces at the bottom. The name and stuff goes on the sides. Jed's seal and stamp and stuff goes on the front. But we have been making, in the past little while, we've been running a few batches of prints with paper at the side. And as you saw, if you've been looking at the Kickstarter campaign, the idea is this. There's room here now on these prints for binding. So we've been collecting a bunch of these, 10 or 12 of each of the designs in the hero side, so that we can bind them into a book. And this is how they come to me now from the printer. That's kind of cool. We thought this was kind of cool, but it turns out that some of the people who have joined the Kickstarter campaign to get this book, I can't say they're complaining already, but what they're asking is, David, what I wanted to be able to do was have the book, but they want to be able to take the prints out, put them up on the wall for a while in a frame, and put them back in the book. And that's not going to happen, because these prints are going to be sewn right into that book. They're not removable, not takeawayable, or anything like that. Anyway, I just want to put that out before I forgot, if I saved it for the end. What is done with that tradition? No, you don't have it traditionally. You know, in a traditional print, I mean, even in old ukiyo-e, there was never borders this wide. Never. They printed like right to the edge of the paper. There was no framing. There wasn't art. It wasn't going on the wall. It was nothing. There's no way they would have such a wasted bunch of paper as we see on a print like this. And we make ours with a small margin, but modern people who are making prints, they put big fat white margins all the way around so they can put it in a big frame and hang it up. We don't do that. But for us, this is a new experiment to make prints in wide paper like this, to bind for binding. Now, I gotta get back to work.
I think the frame's okay now. I think whatever it was that was upstairs, I think has been stabilized. I'm not really quite sure. Yeah, you got to do a hunger print with an uneven border. What you'll have a print that has a sharp border. I bet you on the right-hand side, it'll be a sharp border, and the bottom will be sharp. And then on the top and on the left, it'll be wiggly. And what that is, do I have to change back to the other camera? I don't think so. This is the wrong scale. This is smaller, but there's a. If you imagine your print double-sized, the sheet of paper as it comes from the paper maker was enough like this, and it had the wiggly, the mimi, the selvage all the way around the outside. Now, to make a print, what they do is they cut it in half. They're going to make two prints with that paper. They've cut it in half now, and it's got a flat side on the part that was cut. Then it's got selvage all around the other three sides. But in order to put in the registration marks, they'll cut the bottom off smooth and flat. So they need two sides straight, the right side and the bottom side, to do the printing on the woodblock. And they left the top side and the left side with the natural fiber. And that's what you've got, right? It's not just Doi Hanga, it's everybody back in that era did that way. We would like to have all four around, but that's not the way. You can't get paper that small. Anyway, enough. Let me get back to work here. Where am I? Camera's okay? If anybody here was in this morning's stream, you'll know I had a ton of trouble with the knife. I broke it twice heavily this morning, easily around a millimeter in size. And I'm being really, at the moment, very, very delicate with it. Because breaking it once is whatever. It was because I was chatting and talking and being a bit too careless. So it broke. I sharpened it. And then seconds later, it broke again. A big chunk broke off it. And as we were talking about this morning, when that happens, now there's a different story comes into play, because there's three things it could be. If you break it twice in a row like that, it could be carelessness. And the second one really wasn't, because I was being really quite careful with it. But anyway, if it breaks twice in a row, it could be carelessness. Or it could be that when you sharpened it after the first break, and this is probably what happened this morning, I sharpened it, but I was in a hurry to get it cut the steel off. So I pressed down a bit too hard on the sharpening stone, I think, and stressed the steel. And just like a very, very superfine hairline crack that you couldn't even see or feel. So I get back to carving a few seconds later and bang, away it broke. That's a second possible cause for too much breakage in the same period of time. But another cause, and this is what it still could be, we haven't got a good diagnosis yet. Another cause could be that it's a bad area of the steel. And we've talked about this before. When the guy's hammering to do different kinds of steel together to make these blades, he's just hammering with a hammer, a metal thing, bang, 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 bang. And where you bang it, and down to microscopic level, it's affecting the temper and the way the steels are joined together and the whole quality of the blade. And it's not a perfect process. He's literally hammering, tap, tap, bang, bang, tap, tap, bang, bang. And some places get tapped more than others, some places get banged more than others, some places might get missed. So during the course of a lifespan of a blade like this, over the few weeks/months that I'm using it, it's very common to run into variations in the quality of the steel. And it could quite possibly be that when I broke it this morning, I was just getting to the edge of one of these zones that for the next little few sharpenings, we're going to have some not so nice steel. That's why I'm being really careful right now, because after breaking it twice this morning, it's quite possible that we've got a bad zone of steel and it's going to be really brittle here. Couldn't possibly because I wasn't paying attention. Right. So the people this morning didn't see much carving. They saw a double sharpening lesson. Is that what it was? And I'm really trying to avoid having more sharpening lessons right now tonight. I want to get this thing done. Our printers have already got their paper prepared for this. These feathers all around these eyes, the face, they all go all different directions. These ones curve to my right, these ones curve to my left, these curve up. Gotta try and catch it as well as I can. Just received my Patreon chibi, looking for a container. Oh, la, 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 la. What I've got mine in, I've got a little, I've got a black